During this year, I'm sure that a lot of you have had many burning questions through the ups and downs of the year 2020. And some of these questions maybe were answered, and maybe probably quite many questions were not answered at all. And so I've also had a burning question about, after this unprecedented 2020 year, what am I going to preach on? What am I going to preach on for Christmas Day? And so I thought that an unprecedented year calls for an unprecedented Christmas homily. So buckle up. Hey, do I have enough room here? We'll find out. I have to say that everybody in the front row now is in imminent danger. Okay. And that's the homily. I promise there's a reason to this madness. And I have to say that talking and juggling at the same time is not my forte. Okay, and that's the juggling outfit. Case in point, one time when I was explaining to a second grader the concept and the theology of the Trinity while juggling, I told the second-year-old girl, and I told her second grader, and I said, listen, there are 3 gods and 1 person, which is a horrible theological mistake, right? Because obviously there are 3 persons and 1 God. But I flipped it around because that's what juggling does to my mind. And so whenever I'm juggling and I say something incorrect, forgive me. But what I like to do with these juggling pins is explain an analogy to you. So the blue one represents family. And certainly family is very important. Before I even explain the colors to you, when there are a lot of things happening in your life, what is something that you often say? I am juggling a lot of things in my life right now, right? I'm juggling a lot of things. So certainly we're juggling a lot of things. Family is the most important of them. And right now, it's been harder to be with family. Maybe, especially with extended family. Maybe you've had to connect more through Zoom, and you've had to be distant from your family during holidays, whether it be Easter, Thanksgiving, or even during this Christmas season. And making sure that you're connecting with family in those ways is super important. That's something you're juggling right now. The red one represents work for the adults. And this year, certainly work has been there's been added burdens with it. Some have even lost their jobs. The red one also represents for all our kids here, school, your school. And with school, there has been added challenges too, I'm sure, with being online and then going back to class, going back to online, and that has had its added challenges. And then the yellow one represents, normally I say pre-COVID days, I use the yellow one to explain our extracurricular activities, things that we love to do. But even that has been put on hold a little bit this year. So yellow one this year represents all the new COVID restrictions and everything that we've needed to do in order to keep everybody safe. And that has been a challenge for us too, wearing the mask, following the arrows in Wegmans, an added thing that we have to juggle, right? So all of these things, we're juggling up in the air and trying our very best to do so. And sometimes one of these pins will fumble or drop. So far, I'm doing okay. But sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not so easy. And as you're juggling all these things, you're just trying to keep a balance in everything. Now, you may be asking, what am I missing? There's something that I'm missing. Can anybody answer that question? What am I missing? I mentioned family. I mentioned school and work. I mentioned all the COVID stuff. What am I missing? God, right? Absolutely. God, our faith. Well, there's a reason why I didn't mention it. Because our faith, God, is not something that we juggle. Our faith in God is the focus that we have to keep everything aloft. And so to explain this, I'll give you a little juggling 101. When you're juggling, you actually use your peripherals more than looking directly at the clubs. And so I actually look through the clubs. And so to demonstrate this, I'm going to stare at people as I am juggling. Hello. Hello over there. It's pretty freaky. I'm not even looking at the clubs. I'm looking straight at you. Hello over there. Okay, turning is a very hard thing. Hello over there. Looking straight through. Our faith is what keeps everything aloft. And today, what we celebrate in this Christmas season is our anchor, our focus. Jesus Christ, come in the flesh, in the manger. And we know that when we come to this church, we celebrate the sacraments which anchors us, which roots us, which gives us our focus and allows us to bring that clarity to everything that we have to juggle in our lives. And we know that when Jesus came as a little child in the manger, you know that the manger was a feeding trough for animals, right? And that symbolizes that he is our spiritual food. And today, in the Eucharist, we get to receive Jesus, who is our spiritual food. He is the one who anchors us. He is the one who centers us and focuses us, especially within difficult times. And I know that this year has been an added burden, especially with the family too, with elderly parents and grandparents within the nursing home and having to see them only through a window, or having that distance between family and friends, and then also the added difficulty of work, school, and then also all these new protocols that we have to have on top of it. But what centers us, what brings us together, is our faith. And we praise God for this beautiful gift. We praise God for the gift of faith, for the sacraments which give us grace and nourishes us. And we ask that the Lord will continue to bless us. I got to say, I did this homily twice yesterday, and I dropped the pin. Today, you had the perfect performance. Certainly, we wish to you, from all of us here at St. Greg's, all our parishioners here, a very Merry Christmas.